not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe.
Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid.
Her name's Marlene. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlene didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a white, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But, most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry. She will be in good hands here.
I do not know how I will ever repay you, Witcher.
Don't expect to be paid. Hope you're feeling better, that's all.
Oh, yes, I feel my strength returning thanks chiefly to Barnabas Basil's care.
Horrible ordeal you endured. Glad I cut it short.
Yes, years of suffering. Do you know what was worse than the hunger? Watching my loved ones, my children grow old and die. All my family's long gone now. The last of my kin perished decades past. I fear I've nowhere to go.
This is a big house, big estate. You can stay here.
Truly, I could never infringe so on your hospitality. Yet,
Yeah,
after all I've suffered, the years of starvation, I've but one dream. At last to prepare food that fortifies, nourishes, to delight in the tastes and smells of spices, to sit at one table with others and eat.
Don't see a problem if that's your dream. You could help Barnabas Basil in the kitchen. Eating his meals, you know he's not a culinary virtuoso.
Nothing could make me happier. Thank you.
No, thank you. House could use a woman's touch.
I've one other thing I'd like to tell you. Many years ago, my father assembled valuables for my dowry. I never wed, so they remained unclaimed. These baubles are no use to me now, but to you, well, perhaps let them be a token of my gratitude. If you wish to find them, you must go to my old home, to Trastamara. The dowry lies hidden in a barrel in the cellar. There are several barrels. You must give each a knock until you find the right one.
Do just that. Thanks. I'd never expect someone with your past to feel drawn to the kitchen.
Do you fear I will cook in your home as I brewed as a white?
Counting on you having slightly better taste as a human.
Of that, you can be sure. I loved cooking, even as a child. My gran was a true master in the kitchen. Her spit-roasted oaks was famed throughout the land.
Thought you were a lady, owned an estate.
Do you mean to say a woman of my rank should have had a cook? You're right, of course. And I had the best of cooks, but I devised the dishes myself. They only prepared them.
You sure you don't feel lonely out here?
I cannot say yet. Too little time has passed since you freed me of my thrall, but somehow, for now at least, I do not feel drawn to the city, to others.
Visited others' homes as a white.
Yes, but ever at night, when all were asleep, I went in search of spoons.
Remember, you can always change your mind. Decide you've lived here long enough, just say the word.
I'd never wish to seem ungrateful.
And I'd never want you to stay against your will. See you later.
Take care, Witcher. And remember, you always have warm food awaiting your return.
Renovations coming along all right?
You ought to be the final judge of that, sir. Yet, in my humble opinion, they are progressing splendidly. The laborers have completed all the general renovations. Also, the furnishings you had me order have arrived.
Starting to get into this whole renovating thing. There must be other things we can improve.
Provided we preserve the ground's Beauclervois stylings, and on condition that you are not considering something like, digging vast holes in which to store monster carcasses or bury cursed treasure, I am very much in favor, sir.
So, sometimes I have to brew a potion, but I can't find the herbs I need growing anywhere nearby.
Well, you're in luck, sir. The flower garden, once kept by Madame Nina, Monsieur Bolis's wife, seems the ideal place to cultivate herbs. In fact, it's roomy enough to plant shrubbery.
Good idea, Barnabas Basil. Herbs there will save me hours of painstaking searching and harvesting.
The idea is yours, sir. I am but the humble executor of your will. I believe we shall have sown the first seeds in 2 days' time.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon. Might want to look around some. Full. Strange. That's awful pretty. It'll look great in the house.
Be bum-poked. You must hang on, milady.
You, Jacob?
Heel, Moholt. Down. Who asks?
A witcher. Saw your notice.
Hold up. A witcher, you say? Like in Luis Herrera's Tales and Fables. Luckier than a green bleeding leprechaun I am. See? Not a soul around believes this tree is Daphne, the cursed lady of legend. But you could lift the curse.
Bit too old to believe in bedtime stories, aren't you?
Want your chops busted, Witcher? How old I am, that is none of your poking concern.
Fair point. Not my business what you believe either.
Ha! I'm content we see eye to eye.
So what makes you think there's a girl cursed inside the tree?
Well, I came out with my dog, Moholt, to cut her down. Axe in hand, a broad swing I took. The edge burrowed deep in her trunk, and bum-botch me if blood didn't spurt forth. My jaw dropped in the dirt, but right then I knew. Every jot of it in the tale of Daphne Gareth, and the Witch of Lynx Crag.
Don't tell me. From Herrera's Tales and Fables.
You porking bet. Second edition. Ementit in octavo. I know those tales by heart. My nan read them to put me to sleep.
Guess she read it cover to cover, colophon included. Got me curious, gotta admit. You really think the old tales are true?
Taking the weepy, are you? Do you think me balmy?
No, it's just these are dark, grim times. No room for knights pure of heart or happily ever afters. So I don't often run into folk like you.
Yes, true, the times are crud pie. But I see this as all the more reason to remember the tales. My gran would say, if you know not what to do, think to the chessboard knight and noble Alondra, and the path they would choose. She schooled me so thorough in it, I could not do otherwise even if I wished to.
Let me take a look at the tree.
Careful now. Stay with me.
Swear I hear sobs in the rustling leaves. Actually does bleed. Looks like human blood too. And the bark resembles hypertrophic scars in places. Medallions humming like crazy. Intense magic at work here. Blood. Seeped from the direction of the tree, judging by the shape of the stain. Logger was making good time. Strange, though. Willow's isolated. No other trees near it.
And? Did you look at the tree close?
Mm-hmm. Actually does bleed. Pretty incredible. Looks wondrous.
Did I not say so?
My help doesn't come free, you know.
You speak to a lowly woodcutter. No stench of coin about me. Agreed. I will pay as soon as the young mate is free.
Willing to help, but first I gotta figure out where to start.
No need. I know it all. Miss Daphne and Sir Gareth shared a terrible and fearsome love for each other. Yet to prove himself worthy of her hint, Gareth was to face the Witch of Lynx Crag. Before Sir Gareth set off for the hill, Miss Daphne gave him her kerchief, a token of her favor.
Let me guess, he never returned.
He did not. She stood here day upon day, night upon night, trying to spy him.
Till she sprouted roots and turned into a tree? Wonder why.
I will fecking tell you why. To await the moment when Gareth returns, kerchief in hand. That is the power of love. The power of longing. So you must scale Lynx Crag. Search there for a means to free Daphne. I will give you my book of tales to refer to. And good luck, Witcher.
Not attacking. Doesn't mean it's not a threat, though. Skeleton, bits of some old armor. Wonder who it was. Must have paid a small fortune for this armor. Didn't save him from death, though. A hut. The witches. looks inhabited. No sign of the dweller, though. Guess I'll look around. Warm. Smells inconclusive. No idea what ingredients are in there. The art of body transformation. Liber Ivonis. Conclave of Mages banned this tome. Wormwood, sulfur, wort, scents fresh. Notes on the use of yarrow stems. Interesting. A wall of spell enhancements, or trophies. Arrow, broken in half. No doubt to bring bad luck to the archer. Branch of a grapevine. Could be to ensure a good harvest, or a bad one. Doll looks like an accessory for casting curses. Silk kerchief, monogrammed DF. Could use it to break the curse if it's Daphne's.
None but feral cats stray in here most oft, yet it seems I've guessed from afar at that. What do you seek in my home?
Already found it.
You do not aim to lift the curse from the tree girl, do you?
What if I do?
Then you had best know you waste your time. The old tales? Did your nan not tell them to you? Even I, the witch of Lynx Crag, would be hard-pressed to overcome the power of love and longing.
The Lady's Knight. He ever make it here?
Sagarath. Yes. He came to sway me, but had a quick change of heart. To be precise, it came after the first night we spent together. He stayed a fair while. Then his conscience got the better of him, and he resolved to return to his beloved.
Might have resolved to, but never made it.
A tragic fate befell him along the way.
You have anything to do with this turn of fate?
Of course. Was I to let another woman have a man who belonged to me? I could not abide it.
What if I asked you nicely to lift the curse, please?
Gareth met the fate he deserved. And what happened to his wench was not my fault.
All right, so you didn't cast the curse, but could you help lift it?
I probably could. But why ever would I?
I'll humble myself, prostrate myself before you like the Gareth of the Tale did. I beseech you to help me. Lift the curse that imprisoned Daphne in the tree.
When I saw you enter my hut, I thought, now there is a fellow who shall bend his neck for no one. Stand. None, not even I can restore to the lass the years she has lost, can erase the suffering she has endured. We cannot bring her back to life, but I shall tell you how you might let her depart in peace. Yet my aid shall have its price. A lock of your hair.
How can I know you won't use it to cast a spell on me?
I require this. I must, for with it I will cast a spell to conceal me from you for all time, and will use it for nothing else. You will nag me never again, and you've nothing to fear, I assure you. I always keep my word.
I'll trust you against my better judgment. Lock of my hair's yours.
Splendid.
What do I need to do?
You must convince the maiden her beloved yearned to return, but perished in the attempt. Take her silk kerchief and a fragment of Gareth's remains. His bones lie bleaching in the cave beneath this rock.
Got a bone of his already.
Doubtless taken as a professional precaution. Good. Fire must consume the kerchief and remains. And remember, your heart, your intentions must be pure. Clear?
Yeah. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome. And adieu. Once you walk out that door, never shall we meet again.
So, you met the witch, you must have. What did you learn?
That witch? She's not near as bad as folks say. Made me bow and scrape, sure. But I know some sorceresses witchier than her.
Joyous bleeding news, but what about Daphne?
I can lift the curse, free her, by performing a ritual, making a sacrifice of her kerchief and Gareth's remains. But we gotta start at the right time. When the hour comes, I'll light 4 fires for the 4 winds, then begin the ritual.
Fires? Then I shall be of use to you after all. Seems you need wood, much of it.
Chop as much as you can. I'll see to the rest.
I've chopped and stacked the wood. What now?
My turn. Gotta light fires and talk to the woman enchanted in the tree. No idea how this'll turn out, so just in case, stand at a distance. And if you see me draw my sword, run. Look your last to the world's 4 winds. From the south, not a word. From the east, no cry is heard. From the north, silence sighs. From the west, peer hollow eyes. Cease your vigil. Dead he lies. Hear me, you who hide beneath this bark. The day of your freedom has come. Behold a kerchief, proof of your love for another. Behold, a bone of he to whom you offered your love.
Gareth, my Gareth, he shall never return.
No, he won't.
Is his love for me gone? Did he stay true?
Gareth broke his vow, failed to stay faithful.
Man is built of mud and filth, milady, and is like to blunder, we all are.
How cruel is the world to render conferring one's love so hard?
But what would the world be without love?
The time comes that I depart. I've waited too long. I've suffered too much. And now I wish to go.
Farewell, milady.
I thank you, stranger. And you, my knight. I thank you for speaking to me, for standing vigil at my feet.
I did not think it would end this way. I hoped we could revive her, but I guess it was not to be.
did all we could.
You did well. Here, your pay. And the book is yours as well.
Thanks. Take care of yourself.
So long, Witcher. I must think, put this straight in my head.
Snow White!
Name's Geralt. What can I do for you?
That hair! The scar! The frown! It's all perfect.
Something you actually want from me? Or are you just gonna go on gushing about my attributes?
I admire, good sir. Admire and desire. Such a threat in the eyes. Oh, so manly.
If you're trying to get me to meet with you some evening, afraid you're just wasting your time.
An evening? Impossible. I shall require the soft light of mid-afternoon for this portrait.
Portrait?
Indeed. Yours. En face. Actual size. With the finest vista Toussaint affords behind you. Pose for me. You must. Naturally, I shall pay the compensation due to you for your modeling services.
Don't see why not. Long as it doesn't take long.
It shan't. Never worry. We've but a short distance to journey into the hills outside of town. A perfect landscape perfectly to frame your perfect physiognomy.
Let's go then.
I need only fetch my easel and palettes from my studio. We shall meet at noon at the western gate, near the palace. From where we'll venture forth together.
I'm here.
Let us go! We should arrive in time to have the best light of the day. The chiaroscuro we shall capture. Just glorious.
Let's go. The things I do for art.
We had best ride there. We'll arrive faster and less fatigued.
Congratulations on your feat.
A work of mine. Turtle dove o'er the heath. Hangs in the ducal palace.
So does a cockatrice I cut down once. It's stuffed, maybe even with heather.
I once had a cockatrice feather brush. Best thing for laying down tempera. I no longer have it, sadly. My blasted cat swiped it.
Why would a cat want a brush?
To paint with, of course. And it was no common brush. Fantastic, as I said, and fantastically expensive.
Hang on. Got a cat that paints?
Yeah, if you care to call it that. He merely copies the works of his betters, and poorly at that.
Your cat?
Yes, Pierre Auguste Moustachois. It's no surprise you've not heard of him. He's a second-rate hack and a thief. We'll continue on foot. Ladies, gentlemen, my lieges, forgive me for being forward, but have you perchance seen a set of paints and brushes nearby?
Eugenie, I believe this peasant wants something from us.
My paints, my brushes, I had prepared them. They were here.
We've not seen any journeyman's tools, my good man. Of that I assure you.
There a problem?
Yes, an immense one. I cannot possibly paint without my paints. I'm done for. Unless you would be kind enough to locate them?
Wouldn't happen to have another set with you? And, nothing you could use instead?
My word. Would you really have me scrawl with charcoal like an animal?
Damn it. Sure you left them here?
Yes, right there. I'd prepared everything. Set it out, ordered and organized.
Might have toppled downhill or something. Fine, I'll take a look around. Spilled paint. Reeks to high heavens of turpentine. Footprints. Smudged. Another stain. Could very well be a lead. Neckers? Look like they made off with the paints. Question is, why? Ugly bastard. What now, you piece of filth? Paints. Don't look ruined. Painter should still be able to use them. Found your things.
Splendid. Where were they? And... is this all you found? I left so much more.
Should have kept it all with you, not left it lying around. Followed some paint tracks to a necker lair. Seems the beast's made off with your supplies. Used it to paint a fresco on one of the cave walls. Looked something like a battle scene to me.
Impossible. They splashed paint on the wall in a rage. Unimportant. In any case, it's a good thing you found the basic colors. Shall we? While waiting, I spied a superior spot. We have had fantastic luck with the weather. The light is perfect, absolutely perfect.
Painting this masterpiece gonna take long?
A mere 6 hours. The sun won't allow us to work any longer than that. Oh, but the time will fly by. We'll chat, swap tales.
Better yet, let me down a potion. Time will definitely fly by in a state of lethargy. No need to swap tales.
No. Your expression, your posture, they must be just so. You must look alive with fire in your gaze. Lethargy is out of the question.
Come on, give it some thought. You could title the painting, A Witcher Lying Senselessly on the Heath.
You jest. A jesting witcher.
Take it easy. This the place?
Yes. Just look at the view. Breathtaking. The perfect background for our masterpiece.
Pretty, I guess.
Now, you must carefully consider in what pose you wish to be immortalized.
All right. Considering.
All is ready. We may begin. Have you decided on the pose you'd like to adopt?
Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course. The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Go ahead.
Now, be so kind as to adopt that look you gave me when I first asked you to work with me. That intense scowl of an angry wild ram about to butt heads. Yes, excellent. Now, hold that. Do not budge.
This gonna take much longer?
Not much at all. We'll run out of daylight soon. Please, keep your head still, in the same position.
Fine, I'll try. I'll also try to remember to never trust a painter again.
Griffin!
Yeah, I know. You'll paint one in later.
Gods! A griffin!
Run and hide.
Dearest Mummy! Ah!
Come on.
Is it safe?
Yeah, come on out. And no wonder no one ever came here. It was a griffin's hunting ground.
Oh, that thing scared me to death.
Not quite to death. You are alive. Not least because you chose a witcher to sit for you. How's the painting? It survived too?
It did, but I cannot show it to you now. I never display unfinished work. You can see it tomorrow, after midday, where we met. I shall display it in the market square. Oof, monstrous beast. Shall we immortalize it in the painting?
Yeah, let's add it. Carcass can serve as your prop.
Splendid! Interesting color palette. And the textures and the proportions. It will do. Yes, it will do. But I shall paint it in later, in my atelier. There's an excellent illustration in the Encyclopedia Maxima Mundi. I fear this specimen is, well, too far cut and chopped. Ah, very well. That will do for now. I shall polish the details later. No point struggling on in this fading light. I almost forgot. Payment for your troubles. And I thank you for saving my life. Though, in doing so, you did also save your likeness. For posterity.
Give me peace, please. What makes you insist on me as your victim? Why choose me to torment? Begone, foul spirit.
You're tormented. By what?
Forgive me, but I must ask directly. Are you a man? I no longer trust my senses.
Not exactly. I'm a witcher. Quite a few folk think I don't deserve to be classified as a member of the human species. Know some personally.
A witcher? But no, nor can you help me.
We'll see. Just tell me what the problem is.
A foulness, a demon or wraith haunts me, grants me no rest. It wants something. I sense this, but know not what. Each day it appears, tarries, then leaves. It's here now, there, beyond the trees.
don't see a thing.
Of course not. It cannot be seen.
Yet you see it?
Only when I drink the brew, which brings a pain to my head. Nausea. But I endured these to keep an eye on the Wraith, my tormentor.
This demon of yours, can you describe it?
It is an enormous horse. Its hoofbeats pounding in the dark. It gallops to me, stops, stares, then runs on.
Sure it's not just a wild horse, run-of-the-mill?
The creature is not of this world. When it gazes at me, a terrible chill pervades my soul. It is evil condensed. Its eyes black, void. Each time it comes, terror grips me. I cease what I'm doing, still my breath and heart.
What's your brew made of? Gotta wonder what's causing such strong visions. You drop in some mushroom, jumper tub, dancing dewlap?
Close. The common grey top. I see you know your herbs.
Grey top? Variety's extinct if I recall correctly.
Nearly, but not quite. I was able to grow a few from dried spores. I'd hoped a brew of grey top would reveal this nightmare. I was not wrong.
Far as I know, grey top produces some powerful side effects. Though it can, in fact, reveal the hidden, the immaterial.
Yes, I see the evil. Better that than to know it is there, but not know where.
Need to talk about how much I'll get paid first.
Is it gold you want?
Orans or Novigrad crowns. Florins will work too.
I've none of any coin. I've nothing, in fact. Just potatoes in the cellar. A good crop this year. Tend to this quickly, completely, and several sacks will be yours. Agreed?
If that's the case, no pay required. Need those potatoes more than I do. Fine. You seem sure something's out there. I'll see what I can do. Start by taking a look around. Dead moths. Attracted to some ghosts like to the light of a candle. Seems there's at least some truth to the hermit's ravings.
Grant me but one whole day's rest. I beg you.
Drops of blood on the pillow. Trail of him leading to the window. Shutters closed tight. Need to check the other side, see if the trail continues. Yeah, more blood here. Trail leads into the woods. Trail of blood starts at the pillow, ends here. Medallion's still vibrating.
You were very near to it. It looked at you, then galloped.
Common grey top. Strong hallucinogen. Not extinct. Don't often get to see that. Something drinks the hermit's blood at night. That I know. Gotta talk to her. Maybe she can tell me something more.
Witcher.
Heard flagellants whip themselves to atone for all humankind's wrongs. To appease the gods, gain their forgiveness. That why you do it?
We've each our own reasons. I seek to atone for the suffering of a living being, which once fell victim to another's vanity. I care not for humankind, preferring instead the company of animals.
Most likely some kind of wraiths tormenting you. Can't tell what kind, though. Felt weak, spent lately? Notice bite marks on your skin?
As I said, I feel weaker by the day. And bites, of course. There are lice and midges here aplenty.
This isn't lice. Something much bigger drinks your blood while you sleep.
But I do not sleep. Not a wink. He's always present, always watching. I cannot bear it any longer.
Sadly, not much I can do. Can't exterminate it if I can't see it.
The grey top. I shall make a brew of it for you. I've 2 mushrooms left, enough for 1 dose. Perhaps then you'll see what I do.
This mushroom, even in me, could produce some nasty, unpredictable side effects.
True. There is no knowing how Grey Top would affect a mutated body.
A proper brew could be our only chance to figure this out. All right, high time we tried this. If I start muttering something about unicorns or sorceresses, ignore it. See no wraith.
Wow, this clover's amazing. Now that's what I call a bouquet.
Who said that?
Oh, you're awake. Had me worried. You were out way too long. Even considered giving you some white honey. Kinda hard to do with hooves, though.
Roach? Your voice. It's, interesting. Gotta say, I expected a young mare to sound, girlish.
Based on what? Your vast experience with talking animals? Far as I know, I'm your first.
Good point. Must be the brew that did this. Interesting side effect.
Great, isn't it? You should take this stuff more often. Got so many pointers I could give you.
Can't, sadly. Drinking this too often could prove fatal. Hey, you know how you always show up when I whistle? How's that work exactly?
Well, you're my human. Gotta be there when you need me. Yes, I'll be there for you as the world falls down.
Still kinda strange. How you cross the ocean when I call sometimes, but then get hung up on the tiniest fence. What's that about?
What can I say? Everyone's got limits.
Listen, got this contract I need to finish before the brew wears off.
Right. Monster won't slay itself. Let me see. First up, I need to know what we're dealing with. Follow me, and try not to trample any plants or small animals. Geralt, we gotta inspect this area closely. I'll look for clues. You stand there and... well, just stand.
Right.
Will you look at that?
Don't see anything here.
These are hoof prints. Not just any old horses either. These were left by an astral being. Otherworldly. We gotta follow them. Geralt, look! This here's definitely a clue!
Dead moths often mean a phantom's nearby.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Now, what about the smell? Same whiff I caught at the cemetery in Vizima when we were hunting ghouls. The smell of... death.
Smells normal to me. Not taking me for a ride, are you?
Seriously? All right. Now I know what we're up against. Right, Geralt. Let's sum up what we know so far.
Don't know much. It's a spirit of some sort. Torments the hermit for some unknown reason. It's immaterial, so I've got no idea how to fight it. If we can even find it, that is.
Geralt, please, I got this. It's definitely an Umbra, an immaterial wraith. This one's assumed the form of a horse.
An Umbra actually makes sense. Umbrae are completely invisible, even to Witchers. But how can you be sure?
Because it's not invisible to me, Doofus. It's right over there. It's getting away! Come on, Witcher! Hop in the saddle! Gotta catch it! There's the Umbra! Let's go, Geralt! After it! Hey! Gotta save my strength a bit. No telling how long we're gonna need to keep running. Geralt, we gotta have a man-to-horse talk. No offense, but your riding skills, they leave a bit to be desired, buddy. You'd really do me a solid if you could, apply a slightly surer hand. Be a little more decisive about where you want me to go. Sometimes I got no idea, buddy. Do I go left, right, toward where I'm standing?
Yeah, and it'd be great if you could respond more fluidly to my commands.
Hey, heard this one? Horse walks into a tavern, and the innkeeper says, "Hey, pal, why the long face?" Ah! Let's not lose sight of that Umbra. Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's right there. Run, Roach.
What the fuck do you think I'm doing?
Long as we're being candid, I gotta ask, why do you sometimes buck me off in the middle of a fight?
First I've heard. Don't recall that ever happening.
Of course you don't.
Melted into thin air. Oh, fuck! Geralt, watch out! Good gods! What's with the overgrown demon cat? Help!
Marcello Clarici, knight. Died last year. Was more or less the same age as our hermit. Seems his spirit's become a horse-shaped umbra that's tormenting Penastri.
Why are you telling me this? I can read and draw my own conclusions.
Thinking aloud, that's all. Helps me focus.
Geralt, it's the Umbra! Attack!
Let me explain.
Talk, but make it fast. Why are you tormenting the hermit?
She torments me, refuses to forgive me. I'm denied peace in the afterlife, and it's all her doing. Each day I come and beg her for clemency.
Beg her for clemency? You drink her blood, drive her mad with fear.
I don't know how to explain it, but yes, a monstrous force takes me. Though I also know I'll not have peace till the day Pinastri forgives me.
You and the Hermit, how do you know each other?
We met as babes, grew up side by side. I loved her. Yet she was always sad. Nothing could cheer her. The world terrified her. I thought her gloom came from being poor. So I did my damnedest to take us from our village, make us a better life elsewhere. Became a squire, took her with me to the palace. But Pinastri soon learned nobles are no more decent than peasants, not a speck. Once even I'd grown vile to her eyes, she fled the palace and joined the flagellants. I left the court to be near her, yet she cast me off. Said she didn't want to know me. When the whip-bearers proved too hard-hearted for her too, she became a hermit. I see it clearly now, though I never understood her while alive. From the grave's dark depth, the living are bright, sharp flares. You see all their thoughts at once. Now I understand why she had to cast me off.
She's full of rage. Probably what turned you into an Umbra. Why take the form of a horse?
A horse? What do you mean? Each day since I died, a power lifts me from my grave and makes me run. Then I return with blood in my mouth. I don't know what this is, how it comes to pass, but I do know the torment will continue until she forgives me. But she sees me as a horse, you say?
Seems so. Same way I saw you. Must have hurt her something awful if she refuses to forgive you, would rather see you suffer. What did you do?
To her? Nothing. But my horse, I flogged it to death. Pinastri, she saw this. Proud stallion, my blaze. But he was a bucker, and tossed me during a tourney. One I'd wanted to win badly. Pinastri had been so glad they'd let me stand. Me, a peasant's son. I wanted to win it for her. But that horse made me lose. Rage overcame me. I struck and struck until at last he fell. Oh, the regret. I beg you, forgive me. Absolve me in Blaze's very name.
Can't forgive you for that. Not in my power.
But your horse could? Please, I'd do anything. I'm desperate. Help me. Noble mare, forgive me my sin.
Could free his spirit, pardoning him on behalf of his horse. But you shouldn't do it if you don't think he deserves forgiveness.
Did a rotten thing. Got no excuse. Your horse was loyal. Did the best damn job he could. 'Cause that's how we horses are.
True. I know I deserved what befell me.
But we aren't vengeful, don't hold grudges, don't dwell on being left in monster-infested woods. So, in your poor Blaze's name, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. I feel it's incredible. Such relief, such lightness.
All right then. Guess we might as well head back. Penastri's nights ought to be ghost-free from now on. Anything to add, Geralt?
Nope. Let's go see her. Phantom's gone. Shouldn't torment you ever again.
I felt a change. I did. As if I'd been released from a cramped dunk cellar. I had come to believe no one could help me. I'm grateful, Witcher.
Ought to thank my horse, actually. Phantom's departure, mostly Roach's doing.
Then I thank you too, noble creature.
Gotta admit, easy peasy with our powers combined. So, what now? We hit the path? Right to the nearest notice board? Rustle up another contract?
Exactly. Though, effects of the bruise waning, I can feel it. Won't be able to understand you soon.
That's horseshit. I mean, I got so much more I want to tell you, and...
Clever beasts, horses. Farewell, Witcher.
Greetings.
Geralt, there you are. So, our painting. Are you pleased? Is it to your liking? Do tell.
It's nice. Shows a lot of, imagination. Don't recall undressing before posing, though. Some of the other details are a bit off, too.
Well, the imagination is an artist's chief tool.
Heard the same from a certain poet. He embellishes and invents chiefly.
Perhaps you'd care to buy the painting. Given our rapport, I shall take a loss. For you, I'll part with it, I will, at a special price.
Why not? It'll make an interesting memento, though I'd hardly call the price a bargain.
Indeed, few have the sophistication to appreciate my technique. I sometimes go hungry as a consequence.
All right. At least this way I'll be able to control who sees it. Thanks.